Oh, hey, can you guys hear me? I'm sorry. It shows that there's three live viewers here. I'm figuring stuff out. I don't see anybody in chat. Can somebody say something in chat? I'll get started. I'm using a Zoom meeting. In fact, let me let me let me invite. Oh, yeah, I've got the link. You guys have the link on Goat's Discord. Let me paste it. Here we go. I'm using Zoom to live stream today instead of um, OBS or whatever that OBS studio thing is. But let me see in the chat. If I could, here we go. There's my if you guys want to join the Zoom meeting, you're welcome to. I don't expect you to. I'm just offering it. But um, let me see. Oh, okay. No, no problem. Uh, no problem. Busy K. Um, so let me go over here and go to this thing. So, just looking around. All right, interesting. I'll cancel that. If anyone's here, if you could type type something into chat or let me know that you're here. Well, that's kind of interesting. So I'm going here and I'm going here, but I don't see anybody in chat. Well, that's all right. So let's see. It says, oh, I guess there's nobody here. Anyway, this is like, what if you, what if you had a war and nobody showed up? Or what if you had a party and nobody showed up? Or if you had a live stream and nobody showed up? So let me look at my, oh, ha. Let me just see something. 1578, 1578. Um, so, so, oh, let me do this. Let me do this. Hmm. Let me do this. Let me do this. Let's see. Why is that happening? When I click on this URL, I see my live stream has not started yet. But when I look in YouTube Studio, it says I am live. What's going on? Zoom is connected to YouTube, but the scheduled event has not been transmitted to the broadcast state. Zoom says I'm sending video. YouTube says I'm. That often means there's still a second go live button somewhere in the YouTube control. Yes, I see. Excellent connection. Go live, start publishing. Okay, let me just see. Um, where do I click to go live in YouTube? Hmm. In the upper right corner. In the upper right corner. Hmm. Click go. Hmm, I'm already live. Live here. Click on Dean Huff's Zoom meeting top row. Oh, use that link instead. Okay. Hmm, Where do I get a copy of the Zoom meeting URL to share? Participants invite. Participants. Go back to your, of course, share. And okay. Upper right corner. Upper right corner. I see. Share. Share. Oh, okay, cool. Hey guys. So I did not hit the 200-mile-an-hour goal. Okay, so I'm looking at the chat. Finally, I see you guys. Can you guys hear me or see me? Hey Lucas, good to see you. Mickey, good to see you. Jason. Oh, okay, cool. Hey guys. And, so, and I've got a I just muted my live stream. I muted my YouTube video so that there won't be an echo. So, oh, and I guess I think I can write back, hi guys, can you hear me and can you see me? Okay, cool. Jason said you can see me. Excellent feedback. Cool. All right. Sorry about the delay. I'm using Zoom. I decided to use Zoom to broadcast, and I wasn't familiar with how to hook it up with YouTube. I'll tell you later what the details were with why that was messed up. But I was going to talk about some interesting motorcycle stuff. Uh, I got my bike back Saturday. I had to drop it off at the dealership for a factory recall for the emissions control, and it was necessary before I could get the bike registered again. Hey, Red, I'm glad you joined. Let me just say hi, Red. Good to see ya. Um, so, see, I got the bike back and I went ripping with it on Saturday, and I was going to share something that happened to me. Uh, I I was riding back. My wife was in driving her car, and my best friend was in the car. He was visiting from Chicago, Joe. I think I mentioned Joe from Chicago. And so anyway, I motioned to my wife Kathy to go ahead up the freeway. So I dropped back, and then I shot by them at 120 miles an hour. And my wife was pissed at me, and my best friend was a little bit disappointed with me. And my other best friend, Kathy's brother, um, he's angry that I'm even on a motorcycle, let alone going fast. And so it's kind of strange how people that don't ride, they don't look at motorcycles the same as us. And I got like a little tiny taste of why Goat's dad is down on him for the crazy shit he does on his motorcycle. And so I get it. If you do crazy stuff and you make a big deal about it and you share it with people, um, it strains the relationship. Now, my wife wasn't mad at me. She bounced back immediately, and Joe wasn't mad either, really. But it was kind of interesting. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to go over to Zoom. I'm here. I'm going to share my screen. So you guys can probably see my screen. And I'm going to do some stuff over this way. And I know I don't have enough tabs open, right? I answered this question on Quora today for why a bike can't fly, why a bicycle can't fly. But that's not what I wanted to show you. But anyway, there's a lot of reasons why you can't do it. What I did want to show you was something about why do people opt? Look at all these questions that I've answered. I've answered so many questions having to do with motorcycles. Can you push start a motorcycle with fuel injection? I said, yeah, of course you can. I've done it. Are there niche markets or specific riders who would benefit from using diesel motorcycles? So I answered all these different questions. If anybody sees a question that I've answered that they'd like me to show on the screen, I'll click on it. like this one, are there any specific models of diesel motorcycles have been successful? And I said, no, they're all stupid. There's been a couple, they're all disasters and they're stupid. And it generated like 26 comments and whatever, but I got 80 upvotes, which is okay. Um, are there any examples where engineers successfully push the limits of a diesel engine? I said, yeah, but it's stupid. Doesn't make sense. Okay, why do people buy 1000 cc sport bikes if 600 cc is already fast enough? This is what I want to show you guys. I got 4,000 views. I got 128 upvotes and 20 comments. So before I click on this, let me look at the chat to take the pulse of what's going on in the room. What is going on in the room? Um, bum, 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 not that, that, that. Close that. Hmm, you don't see, oh, there's only 2 current viewers right now. Holy cow. That's not much at all. But here, I'll click on that anyway so that we can look at it. But I'm surprised that there's not that many people here. I thought that there were like a handful of people here. Mhm. Close this to save some memory. Um, can you guys read this? Should I increase the zoom? Makes it a little bit easier to read, maybe. But I'm trying to see where the chat is so that I can get an idea of, that's not doing anything. Oh, maybe I need to do this. Let me go over here. Where are we? The only way that I know to get there for sure is to go like this. Um, I don't see any comments though. Can you guys see my screen? Oh, so Jason wants to know why I didn't go to, okay, I can answer that question, Jason, and that's a fair question. Um, the reason I haven't gone 200 miles an hour is because I'm a scaredy cat and I'm a pussy. I have no problem at all getting up to 120. In fact, it's um, it's too easy for me to get up to 120. I get up to like 100, 120, just like that, and I live at about 100 miles an hour, and I like to goose it up to 120 or 130 occasionally. And I can get to 145 just fine. But what happens is when I get to about 145, there's a mental block. The bike will do it, but my mind won't do it. And I just can't bring myself to crack 150. Um, I've tried a few times, and I've even deliberately set out to do a speed run on purpose, and I can't bring myself to do it. So Jason, that's why no, I haven't gone 200, even though my bike will go about 205. Um, so let me answer this question. I'll share this with you guys. Why do people buy a 1000 cc sport bike if a 600 cc is already fast enough for public roads? Which is true. You can do 160 miles an hour on a 600 cc bike, and there's no reason to have a leader bike. I've got no business having a leader bike. I admit it, especially a super bike. My bike came with 189 horsepower and it's flashed. So it picked up about another 10 or 15 horsepower or so. I haven't put it on the dyno. But here's my answer, guys. And I'll read this off to you and you guys can comment where I got a Honda CBR 1000 Fireblade last year because I was dying from stage 4 lung cancer and bone cancer in 4 places, which is true. In fact, here, I illustrated on my body. I had bone cancer in my shoulder. It still hurts. I had bone cancer in my sternum, well, sternum up here, my spine down here, my lungs, those places. The red is where I had pain. The blue is where I had cancer, but it really wasn't causing much pain. Um, so, but I really was looking at dying, guys. I swear to God. I was knocking on death's door. And I figured if I was going to die, I wanted to live large for the short time I had left. So I upgraded from my Ninja 650 that had 67 horsepower to a 205 horsepower CBR 1000, 205 mile an hour bike for the prestige of the bike and the experience. I got that Fireblade to go across the country to say goodbye to family and loved ones. And I prayed to God that I was going to live long enough um, to be able to make that trip. So I sat on different bikes to see how comfy they were. Because I went to the dealership and I just sat on a ZX10R and a bunch of other things, ZX14R, uh, R1, all kinds of different things. And I found that the CBR had a somewhat more comfortable rider position from all the other leader bikes that I sat on, even though it's an aggressive track weapon. It was pretty comfy for me. And so when I got the bike, I found that it had torque everywhere and it almost didn't matter what gear I was in. I could easily start out the second gear by accident. In fact, I just did that on Saturday. Wasn't paying attention. I start out from a red light and I get going. I look, oh shit, I was in second gear. I didn't go down to first all the way. So you can do almost anything with that stupid bike, just about any leader bike for that matter. So I can easily pass cars in an instant, even if I was in sixth gear at 55 miles an hour. My RPMs were only 4,000. So I mean, I know you're not supposed to lug the engine. I'm not lugging the engine. I'm just saying that bike will take off hard almost anywhere. Um, you know, guys, it's really weird. Strictly speaking, you only need first gear for a leader bike because you start out in first and you can go up to about 100 miles an hour in first, and 100 miles an hour is already breaking the speed limit. Yeah, there's no freeways, highways in the US where you can go even 100 miles an hour. But what if you said, okay, shit, the hell with it, just give me second gear? I can start out in second gear just fine. I do it occasionally by accident without even knowing it. In second gear, I can probably get up to about 120 miles an hour. So you don't even need a freaking transmission. You only need like one gear for the bike. Now, of course, that's not going to be optimal. I'm just saying it's so idiot proof because the engine's so powerful. Um, so I'm just saying, and I've never used all the engine has to offer, and that's what I was just saying to Jason. I haven't used all that the bike has to offer. I haven't used all of its speed. I haven't used all of its power. I've never gotten it above 11,000 RPM, so go to 13,000. But I've uh, I've used a lot of it at times, and it's a thrill. So I was saying, hey, I didn't require the six-axis IMU or wheelie control or traction control or adaptive Öhlins electronic suspension or the titanium gas tank, the titanium exhaust, the super light forged wheels, the electronically linked braking system, the fly-by-wire throttle control, and a shitload of other bells and whistles that came along for the ride. I didn't need any of that crap. It just came with the bike. But I was able to, so I got the bike. I was able to do 940 miles on the first day of my ride, which I did in between chemo sessions 5 and 6. And I completed my 5,600 mile trip without any significant problems. I usually keep the bike below 6,000 RPMs. I was just saying, I've never been above 11,000, even though it's good for 13,000. I often use only about 110 horsepower, and I've only gotten up to 145 miles an hour. um, and so the max that I've ever squeezed from the bike probably is 160. So there's still another 40 horsepower left that I haven't touched. So I've left 2,000 RPMs, 60 miles per hour, and 45 horsepower on the table. So what? And so this shows my bike ride. See, this is me. There's my bike. And here's my trip. And so uh, the first day I did 940 miles, got me to Texas. And the second day I made it to Houston. And I went to bike night to hook up with Goat. He wasn't there because his bike was in the shop. But I met Teddy and a whole slew of other people. There were like 40 riders. There were at least 40 bikes at that Shell station. And then the next day, I ran up to Dallas to hook up with Angry D, and I had lunch with Angry D, and I rode with him for a little bit. And then I came back to Dallas, and I had dinner with D. Tom Raygun and Big E, Big E, he had that what did he have? He had I think he had a Royal Enfield maybe, and then he got a Harley, and now he changed that out for a KLR 650, I think. I don't know what he's on anymore. Anyway, then I went to Pensacola and up to Nashville and up to Chicago and then back home. So that's that's what I did, and that's why I bought a 1000 cc sport bike, even though a 600 cc bike is already fast enough for the public roads. Then there's this other thing, guys. If you're gonna die and you're really looking at dying, you say, well, to hell with it. I'm gonna live large. I always wondered what it would be like to ride on a leader bike. Everyone makes such a big deal about, oh, it's so dangerous. Oh, you can't. You guys, it's not any more dangerous than like a Grom. And the reason I knew that was because I rode a BMW S1000RR, and I had no trouble with it. I was thinking, oh, this thing's gonna be scary. And I rode like a little chicken for the first 5 minutes, and all of a sudden I realized, holy crap, this bike handles basically like my Ninja 650. It weighs about the same as my 650. Now, of course, it had like a gazillion times more horsepower. My Ninja had only 65 horsepower. It could only do 130 miles an hour, and that S1000, that thing could do 200. And I don't know what the horsepower was on it, but it was something like 190. It's way up there. But as far as the way the bike feels, if you keep the RPMs low, um, it's not going to get away from you. It's not going to come alive, or it's not going to hurt you. Um, I mean, if you don't know how to work the throttle, then it can hurt you, of course. Zoom. Let me zoom back out. Um, let me entertain you. No, let me check the live stream to see. Oh, it says okay. Um, so Jason's here. How many? Oh, there's only two people watching this thing. This is a bust. Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up because there's only two people here. This is boring. I thought there'd be more people, but thanks for showing up, Red and Jason and Miki. Um, so and Lucas. Um, so now I've gotten the kinks worked out for using uh, Zoom to broadcast. And when I do this tomorrow, I won't have the same technical difficulties that I had today. Sorry about that. But since nobody's here, I'm going to kind of wrap up early. So I'm going to say I'm about to end my stream. It was rough tonight due to my operator error, and there is only one or two people in the stream. So I'm throwing in the towel for tonight. I'll be back tomorrow night. And let me oh, that was for Bezzy. And I'll also pop that in the chat. Oh, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know that Goat was live. Holy crap. I didn't know that. Thank you, Jason. I had no idea Goat was live. I'll join that. In fact, we're going to do like we're going to do a double stream. I'm going to stream Goat's stream. So how about this?
Then when I got the bike, it didn't hurt my back at all. Not even a little bit. So if you have back problems, I guess depending upon what your back problem is, when I've heard people say, well, I have bad back or whatever, it doesn't, being put into this position,
Okay, I'm gonna
it
end my
doesn't
stream. Bye,
affect your
guys.
back. It doesn't have anything, it doesn't play a role in exacerbating a lower back issue.